All right, welcome back, you guys. I'm going to ask you guys to begin by taking a seated position, crisscross applesauce. And if your lights are on in your room, feel free to turn them off. Create a nice, warm, inviting environment. Hi, sweet girl. Let's go over here and lie down, please. Go lay down. Thank you. Once you find a seated position, go ahead and stack your spine on top of your sit bones. Pulling the shoulders down and away from the ears. And your hands can either come to your knees, palms facing down or up. Or another option is to bring your hands into your lap, intertwining the fingers. We'll stack the ears over the shoulders. We'll begin by just noticing the breath, not changing anything about it. Feeling the rise and fall of the chest. The air as it enters our nose and moves down into our lungs. Take a nice deep inhale. We'll fill up the lungs, bringing the air all the way to our belly. Fully release. We'll do that one more time. Big, deep cleansing breath. Fill up the lungs. Release. Bringing our hands together, we'll intertwine the fingers, making a fist. Our elbows will come together and we'll place our knuckles just at the bottom of our chin. Pushing our head up and back, bringing our elbows towards the sky. We'll stretch the front side of our neck. Slight arch in the back. And we'll slowly come back to center, removing our hands, bringing them again, intertwining up and behind the head. Our elbows pull in tight towards our ears, and we'll drop our chin to our chest, stretching the opposite side of our neck. Moving slowly and being gentle with our body. We'll release, coming back up to center. We'll bring our hands back to our knees. We're going to set up our feet so that both feet are twisted to the same side. So the sole of our left foot will come to our right knee, and then our right foot will reach back behind our sit bones over here. My left hand will reach over and I'll grab my right knee as my right hand will come and reach behind my spine. As I exhale, I'll twist, coming deeper into this pose, opening up the side of our torso. I'll return to center, switching my legs to the opposite side. My right hand will reach up and across to my left knee, and my left hand will reach behind my sit bones. As I exhale, I'll twist a little deeper into this pose. I'll come up and out of this, coming back into crisscross applesauce. I'll bring my right hand up and over my head, reaching for my left ear. My left hand will be placed on the floor, and I'll pull my head towards the right, stretching the side of my neck. Releasing, coming back to center, being gentle, moving slow. I'll take my left hand behind my back. I'm going to turn around just so you guys can see this. My left hand's behind my back. My right hand will grab onto the wrist of my left. I'll pull my left arm down and towards the floor and then drop my head the same direction, lengthening the side of your neck. Returning back to center. I'm going to switch to the opposite side, bringing my left hand up and over to my right ear. My right hand reaches for the floor as I gently pull my neck, bringing that left ear towards the left shoulder. I'll release, bringing my right wrist behind my waist. My left hand will grab onto the right wrist, and I'll pull, bringing it closer to the floor as I drop that left ear back towards the left shoulder. Rising back up to center, I'll take my arms and I'm going to cross them at the elbows. From here, I'm going to bring my hands up towards my face and interlock my fingers with my palms at the very top. I'm going to rise my elbows as I widen the gap between my shoulder blades, feeling a nice stretch on the back side of my shoulders. Quickly assess your posture, rising the spine, sitting up nice and tall. We'll twist towards the elbow that's on the bottom. So my right elbow's on the bottom. I'm going to twist my body, opening up the side of my torso and my shoulders. Coming back to center, I'll remove and release the arms, switching to the opposite side. I rise the elbows, widening the space between my shoulder blades. Assessing my posture, I'll twist to the opposite side. Returning back to center, releasing the arms. I'll bring my right arm up and over so that the elbow is sitting just on the back side of my head. My left arm will grab onto my elbow and I'll gently pull on that elbow, opening up the back side of our arms. On my next exhale, I'm going to lean towards that hand that's grabbing onto the elbow, opening up that side of the body. And turning back to the top, we'll switch to the opposite side. As we're doing this pose, just quickly assess how your neck is. Try to stay in a neutral position at the neck. Don't strain. And on your next exhale, we'll open the torso, leaning towards the opposite side. Rising back up to center. Our hands can come to the floor. We'll roll over our shins and we'll make our way into child's pose. Our big toes come together. Our knees can stay narrow or wide as our chest meets the floor. We'll take a few breaths here as we notice the rise and fall of our chest, our ribs expanding against our thighs and collapsing. We reach our fingers out in front of us as we draw our sit bones towards our heels, lengthening our spine. We'll rise the chest, coming into tabletop position, stacking our knees directly under our hips and our wrists directly under our shoulders. From here, we'll keep our hips in the same location. We'll walk our hands out in front of us like we were just in child's pose. As we do this, our chest will drop towards the floor and we'll open up our shoulders by allowing ourselves to just melt. Our hips stay stacked. Gently rise the chest just a little bit. I'm going to string my right arm underneath my left armpit, twisting at the spine, allowing my head to meet back at the floor. My hips maintain their position over the knees. And I push down with both my palms as I open my chest and twist at the spine a little deeper. I'll rise the chest, coming back into that pose we were in before called melting heart. My hips stay stacked. My chest will fall towards the floor. And I gently rise, twisting to the opposite side, stringing that left arm under the right armpit. With each palm, I press into the floor as I twist at the spine. I'll rise the chest, coming back to center into tabletop position. I'll make my way all the way down and onto the floor on my stomach. From here, my left arm will reach out in front of me. I'm doing the same thing that we were just doing without the twist at the spine. My right arm will reach under my left armpit. I'll gently allow my forehead to come towards the floor as I stretch the space between my shoulder blades, allowing my head to rest. We'll rise the chest, bringing our right arm out in front of us, stringing that left one under the armpit, allowing the head to come down towards the floor. We'll rise the chest, bringing our arms out to a T. At this point, I am going to shift my weight up and over to the right. For this pose, it's all about setting up the hips and the legs so that you can do the least amount of work as possible. So you can see I've pulled my right knee, my lower leg, up towards my chest. My left leg is up and behind my spine as I open the front of my shoulder, the front side of my chest. At this point, I can rest my head on the floor. Just allow yourself to experience this pose and this stretch. Rolling out of this position, making our way back onto our stomach, we'll extend the opposite arm to our side. Setting up as we roll our hips and set up our legs. Returning back to our stomach, I invite you to rest your head on the floor as we begin to go into our final pose, our resting pose, Shavasana. Rest your head on the cheek that you least likely sleep on. So turning your head to the opposite side that you normally sleep. Allowing ourselves as we rest to stretch that side of our deck. And I'll have you guys change sides in just a few minutes to our normal comfy side. Just allow yourself to feel the weight of your body on the floor as your eyes gently close. Bringing your attention back to the breath. Feeling the warmth of the air as it exits. And lifting our head, turning to the opposite cheek. We gently wiggle our fingers and wiggle our toes. We'll roll to our side, bringing our lower arm as a pillow underneath our head. Our knees pull into our chest. There's no rush at all, taking your time. Use that top arm to push yourself up and into a seated position when you're ready. Thank you so much for joining me this morning. I hope you guys have a wonderful day. Sorry for the late start, and hopefully I'll see you guys in a few more weeks.